I have spent all this time chasing something, and lately I've realized a part of me is terrified of actually catching it. This is a strange thing to admit because everything I do points towards one direction. The early mornings, the work, the building, all of it is aimed at getting somewhere, at the success, at the life, at the version of things where it finally worked. I want that. I really do. But recently, I've noticed something underneath the wanting, something quieter and harder to look at. A part of me is scared of getting there, not scared of failing. That fear I understand. That one makes sense. Everyone talks about the fear of failure. This is the other one, the one nobody names, the fear of it actually working, the fear of arriving at the thing I have been walking toward this whole time and not knowing who I am once I'm standing in it. And I want to try to understand that because it doesn't make sense on the surface. Why would I be afraid of the exact thing I'm working so hard to reach? I think part of it is that the wanting has become who I am right now. I am the person who's building towards something. That's my whole identity. The struggle, the chase, the not there yet. That's the ground I stand on. It's how I understand myself. It's the story I tell about who I am. And if I actually get the thing, the story ends. Who I am when there's nothing left to chase. When the vision I have been carrying finally becomes a life I'm living. When the gap between where I am and where I want to be closes, I don't have an answer to that. And not the knowing is unsettling because, as painful as the wanting is, it's familiar. I know how to want. I've gotten good at it. The chase, the given my days shape and meaning. And some part of me suspects that if I got what I wanted, I'd lose the very thing that's been organizing my whole life. The pursuit has become a home and getting there would mean leaving it. There's also this fear that it won't feel like I imagine now. I have built the arrival up in my head so much, made it carry so much weight. In my mind, getting there fixes something, resolves the doubt, silences the voice that says I'm not enough, makes all of this worth it. But some quiet part of me knows that's probably not true. I have had smaller version of getting what I wanted before, little wins, and every time the feeling was smaller than I expected, faded faster than I thought, and underneath it, the same person was still there, unchanged by the achievement. So there's a fear that the big version will be the same, that I'll finally get there and feel the same hollowness I felt after the small wins, just at higher altitude, that I'll arrive at this thing I sacrificed so much for and think, is this it? Is this what I was killing myself for? That fear is almost worse than failing because if you fail, you can still keep the dream because you can. But if you succeed and it's empty, you lose the dream and the thing at the same time. I think there's a fear of who I'll have to become to hold it too, because the version of me that gets there will not be this version. He'll have to had to change, grow harder in some ways, more responsible, more visible, carrying more than I carry now, and I don't fully know that person yet. I'm building towards him without knowing if I like him, without knowing if success changes people in ways that they don't choose, without knowing if the thing I want will cost me something in myself that I can't see from here. I've watched it happen to others, people who got what they wanted and become someone smaller because of it, harder, more closed, more afraid of losing it than they ever were of not having it. And I wonder if that's what's waiting for me too. If having comes with a version of me I wouldn't recognize, if getting there means becoming someone who's constantly anxious about staying there, that strange fear to carry while working toward the exact thing that might cause it. But I have been sitting with all of this, and I think the fear underneath everything is really about the unknown. Failure, I can picture. I know what it looks like. It's familiar, almost comfortable in how predictable it is. I go back to where I was. Nothing changes. The world stays the same shape. The success is actually unknown. It's the thing I have never experienced at a scale I'm imagining. And human mind is more afraid of the unknown than the pain. We'll choose a familiar suffering over an unfamiliar unknown almost every time. So maybe that's what this is. Not really a fear of success, a fear of unfamiliar, a fear of version of my life I have never lived and I can't fully predict. And when I frame it that way, it loosens a little because the unknown isn't inherently bad. It's just unknown. I'm treating it like a threat when it's actually just new, unwritten, a chapter I haven't read because I haven't gotten there yet. The fear isn't information about the future, it's just my mind's discomfort with being not able to see it. I have decided the fear isn't the reason to slow down. Because here's the thing, whether the arrival feels good or hollow, whether I become someone I like or don't, whether the unknown turns out to be a gift or a burden, I can't find any of that from out here, from the not yet, from the fear. The only way to know what getting there actually feels like is to getting there, to walk into the unknown instead of standing at its edge guessing. And I'd rather find out that success is hollow than spend my whole life protecting myself from the chance that it might be. I'd rather arrive and figure out who I am in the new place than stay in the old one because I was scared of the change. The fear will probably come with me. I don't think it fully leaves. But I have learned that the fear for and forward are not the opposites. You can still be afraid and move, afraid and still build, afraid of the very thing you're walking toward and take the next step anyway. That might be the whole thing, actually. Not becoming fearless, just becoming someone who moves like while afraid. So, I'm scared of getting what I want. I've said it now. The quiet fear I had been carrying underneath all the wanting. Scared that arriving ends the story I know how to live in. Scared it won't feel the way I built it up to feel. Scared of who I'll become to hold it. Scared mostly of the unknown of it. And I'm going to keep going anyway because I have realized the fear isn't telling me to stop. It's just telling me that where I'm headed is genuinely new, unlived, uncertain in a way that failure never is. And I'd rather walk into an uncertain success than hide in a familiar smallness because I was too afraid to find out. The thing I want is still out there, and a part of me is still afraid of reaching it. I'm reaching for it anyway. Maybe that's what it actually means to want something. Not the absence of fear, just choosing the thing more than you fear it.